What's up, you guys? It's Erin. Welcome back. Today we have a little bit of a different video, but it's one I've been wanting to do for a little bit. It's a products I've changed my mind on video. So recently I've been using some products, some that I used to like that I don't now, or there are a few products that I didn't like at first but now I really like. So I wanted to talk about some of those products. They're all makeup. I just thought it'd be fun to kind of go through how my makeup tastes have changed, how my opinion on a product has changed, and yeah, I just thought it'd be fun to chat about. Before we get into the video, if you're new here, my name's Erin. I'm a full-time nurse in the Midwest, and I really love everything beauty and making YouTube videos all about different ideas in the beauty space. So if that's something you're into, definitely make sure to subscribe and hit that post notification bell so you are notified when I upload future videos. I would love to have you. Okay, so this is just going to be me chatting about products. I will say, going through things I wanted to talk about for this video, there was a few products I had in mind, and then I was trying to think of other ideas of how my opinions have changed on products. It's definitely easier to think of products I used to like that I don't anymore, because that's kind of natural because makeup preferences and styles change over time, right? It's harder to change your opinion on a product that you didn't like right away to change. So those are like the more exciting finds and opinions to me. So I have a few more products that started off as likes that I don't like anymore, and then a few less that I started off not liking that I now like. But let's just alternate back and forth, starting with the Cover FX Gripping Primer. This is one that I talked about in my last declutter. I used to really like this. I think because it was really hyped up, maybe I felt like I had to like it. Gripping primers and sticky primers were like the new thing when this came out, and this is in my declutter pile because it just has a really thick, sticky texture, and I feel like my makeup just doesn't sit well on top of it. I thought I liked it at first, but I realized over time that it's just it's not hydrating. It just leaves like a tacky layer, and if you apply too much, it just pills, and it looks terrible under makeup, and it makes my makeup look awful, and yeah, I don't like this anymore. Another product that I don't necessarily not like it, but my opinion on it has changed. It's the MAC Paint Pot in Painterly. I have used a ton of this. If you're not sure what the Paint Pot is, it's kind of like a thicker cream shadow that a lot of people use, like they pick their closest shade, they have a bunch of shades of these to their skin tone, and use this as an eyeshadow primer. And that's why I wanted this for so long and why I got it. I love using this because it is the perfect, Painterly is a perfect shade for my skin tone. If you can see that, like you can't even see the swatch. It's the perfect like cool toned shade that does not show up as like a shade on my eyes. It just blanks everything out and covers up the veins and evens everything and slightly brightens everything. I love that. It's so easy to just tap on with your finger. It doesn't look cakey. It blends in wonderfully. I love this as an eye primer. The thing I've realized that I don't like about this is it does not help the wear of my shadow like the Urban Decay Primer Potion does. I wish that I could get the Urban Decay formula in this type of finish. Maybe they do have a coverage one that gives a little bit of coverage. I need to look into that because mine's almost gone. But if I need my shadows to last, I just can't use this. It's not terrible, but my shadows do crease significantly more when I use this. And I've kept it around because I really like it, and I'm going to continue to keep it because sometimes I'm shooting a video and I'm only going to be wearing my makeup for a few hours, and that doesn't really matter. But if I'm going to go out for a few hours, if I have an event or a wedding or something, I would never use this because it doesn't really help my eyeshadows wear better. Let's switch gears and talk about a product that I didn't like at first that now I'm obsessed with. So it is the MAC Glow Play Blushes. So the first shade I got, it kind of has to do with the shade I got. This is the shade Cheeky Devil, and I also decluttered this recently, and I found it at TJ Maxx, and everyone had been raving about the formula of the Glow Play Blushes, and I just wasn't sure about the formula. I got the e.l.f. airbrush stipple brush to apply it with that everyone uses, and this shade just didn't show up on me. It didn't do anything. I kept trying to build it up and it looked terrible on me. I think because I applied so much, it just sunk into my pores, and there really wasn't much blush there because this is so light. So I was like, you know, maybe I don't like these blushes like everyone else does. Come in the shade So Natural. So this was sent to me by one of my Instagram friends. It's the perfect nude blush. I've raved about this many times on here. This shade made me fall in love with this formula. And also nude blushes. I totally changed my opinion on the Glow Play blushes. This one I need a lot less of to obviously get blush on my cheeks. I don't need to keep caking it on. And it just looks so much better. It's really like an airbrushed natural glow finish. And I also have the shade Rosie Does It, but this one is still my favorite. And this shade definitely changed my opinion on the Glow Play formula as well as nude blushes. And now I want all the nude blushes because they are so flattering. I had to throw in a few old school things in here that I used to love that I just never reach for anymore. And some of these I'm going to end up decluttering in my next declutter. First are Tarte bronzers, powder bronzers specifically. So I have two face palettes here. The first one is the Clay Play Face Shaping Palette. I used to love this palette. Now that my makeup skills have advanced and my tastes are different, I just find these way too patchy and too pigmented to apply. This one is way too dark on me, this one's way too ashy and cool toned, and this one's way too warm, and they're really hard to apply evenly. These eyeshadows are fine, but also a little bit patchy, and I don't know, I think this was in my declutter pile, just not the Tarte, the next palette I'm going to talk about. But yeah, this palette just, I just don't use it anymore because I found a lot better formulas. I like the Park Ave Princess palette a little bit better, but as you can see, it's still pretty much unused. These shades are all a little bit warm and deep for me, and like the Clay Play Face Shaping palette, they're also just a little bit patchy and too pigmented. And I just have a lot of bronzer formulas that are easier to use, powder bronzer formulas that is. And yeah, I just don't reach for this anymore, and I wouldn't buy a Tarte like face palette again. Maybe blushes, I love their blushes, but yeah, these just, I never reach for these anymore, and these used to be two of my favorites. Another one that I kind of gave into the hype for this, I was really excited about it. It's the Alamar Cosmetics gloss. It's the Las Desnudas gloss in the shade Dulce. This I also decluttered recently because the shade is really pretty, and I really was excited to get this in a BoxyCharm because of Kathleen Lights. Love this formula. And I liked it at first, or at least I thought I did. It's really shiny. It's a good nude color. But my issue with this is that it's so thick and sticky. It's uncomfortable. Like, my lips look sticky. They stick together when I talk. That's how sticky it is. Like, I can't wear this. I never reach for it anymore. And I realized that I like a thicker gloss. It's not, as long as it's not too sticky. And this just is not it for me. It's not my preference. Overall, I prefer a gloss that's not very sticky at all, I've learned about myself, and this is just a no. The product that inspired me to do this video is a product that I did not like. I swore I didn't like at first, and then I put it in my everyday makeup bag and started wearing it to work, and I realized, okay, I think I do like this product. It's the Merit Beauty Complexion Stick, Perfecting Complexion Stick in the shade Dune. So this is like an all-in-one concealer foundation product. It's buildable. It's supposed to be good for like the everyday gal, super easy. I first tried this in a YouTube video like last year sometime, and I tried to apply this like normal foundation. I really put it all over my face to try to get at least a medium coverage, and it just emphasized every bit of texture I had on my face. It emphasized lines. It looked dry. Even though I didn't set it, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna use this. I don't like it. And then it sat in my drawer. I obviously didn't use it. And then recently I was like, maybe this would be good for work. I ended up putting it in my everyday makeup bag that I keep upstairs when I just throw a quick like face on for work. And I'm a nurse, and I wear a mask or an N95 for 12 hours at a time. So my makeup is very minimal since the pandemic started. And I was like, maybe this would be good to just put under my eyes, spot cover, whatever. And I've been so impressed by it. Here's a swatch of it. The shade Dune is a great match for me. I usually use a hydrating primer, then I just apply this sparingly in the areas I need it, usually under my eyes, on my forehead, around my nose. I'll put a little bit around my chin, but not much because of the masks. And this is light enough coverage that I don't need to apply it everywhere, and I can just blend it in where I apply it. It looks really natural. Because it can get dry, I don't set this, and I find that it actually looks better as I wear it, and it warms up on my skin throughout the day. I just think that this needs to be worn on like minimal makeup days when you don't want to really have a full coverage type of face on. This is perfect for that. I just think I had to discover what I like this for, and now I love it. One that I kind of just recently discovered, I hadn't used this product in a long time. I pulled it out because I was doing a Rihanna look recreation. It's on my reels on Instagram. But I wanted to pull out some Fenty products, obviously, if I'm recreating a Rihanna look. And this is the highlight, the Kilowatt highlight in the shade Mean Money Hustle Baby. And this, I just don't like it. I wore it for that look because I hadn't used it in a while, and I wanted to use the few Fenty products that I do have. This side is the more like natural highlight side. I applied that and I found it just looked like powder. It didn't really do anything. And then the other side that's supposed to be more intense, it looked way too golden metallic on me. This shade just is not right for my skin tone. It looks like metallic sitting on top of my cheekbones. And yeah, I'm gonna declutter this because it just doesn't make sense for me to keep it. I'd rather give it to someone who would use it. I think I've gotten a lot pickier with my highlights over the last year or two. I like what I like. I don't like a highlight to look really streaky and metallic, and it's easy with fair light skin. Anything golden can look really stripy, and that's exactly what this is. It looked almost duochrome, like a peachy gold duochrome when I wore it, no matter how much I blended, and I was not into it. Another product that I didn't think I liked at first, but now I really enjoy it, is the cream blush from Rose Inc. It's the lip and cheek color, and I have the shade Heliotrope. I think that's how you say it. It's kind of the nude peachy blush, and this is definitely a thicker formula. You really need to swirl your finger in there. The first time I wore it, it looked really patchy, and I was just concerned. I didn't think it was going to be very blendable, and I thought maybe it would just pick up my foundation underneath because it's so thick. But I found that when I apply this to my hand and then really pack it into a brush and then put it on my cheeks, it works a lot better than trying to place it right on my cheeks and blend it out, just because it's such a thick kind of, it's not really waxy, but almost a little bit. You just have to be careful with this type of formula. But now that I've figured it out, I really enjoy it. I didn't think I liked it at first because it just wasn't applying the way I wanted to, but I think I applied it right to my face, and I just don't think that's the way to go with this. I think you should kind of work it into a brush, or you put your brush right in here and apply it that way, and you'll get a really nice application. It is a more matte satin finish. It's not the glowiest cream blush I've ever used, but I think because of that, it's definitely longer wearing, and for that reason I really enjoy it, and I love the packaging. A newer eyeshadow to me that I have raved about how good it looks, but just the wear on it, I've changed my mind. So this is the Wonder Beauty Double Date Eyeshadow Duo. Let me start by saying, I've already talked about eyeshadow primers. Everything wears well on me with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I wouldn't say I have the creasiest eyelids ever, but I do have eyeshadow that creases if I don't wear that primer. And sometimes I don't, and my eyeshadow still looks fine. Well, this is a cream eyeshadow duo with a cream eyeshadow on the bottom, and it's the perfect like neutral gold, and then there's a powder topper shadow on top that's very intense gold. This is like the perfect duo for just a one and done shadow. You can wear one or the other. But I've found with this, no matter how I apply it, no matter what eyeshadow primer I use, no matter how thin of layers I go in, even if I wear one or the other, I make sure to be very careful when I'm applying it. This creases on me like almost immediately, and really, really badly as well. And I don't mind a little bit of creasing, but every time I wear this, I'm just so disappointed in how it wears. And I really want to like it because I love the application and how it looks. I love a cream eyeshadow. I love toppers. It's got everything I need. I love it so much, but I just can't find a way to get it to wear well. If you have a trick for this shadow, please let me know. But yeah, it just creases on me so badly. I've definitely changed my mind about this. We have one more of each category. Next is the Thrive Cosmetics Limitless Lash Extensions Mascara. I didn't really like this at first. This is really hyped up. I got it in an Ipsy bag, so I thought I would try it. And I didn't really like it. I wasn't really impressed by, like, I just thought my lashes looked kind of short and chunky, like kind of clumpy, if you will. But then I learned that you just go in thin layers. This doesn't really build up. I kind of just coat my lashes and then I'm done with it. It looks a lot smoother. And when I kept wearing this and realized, I knew it was a tubing mascara and I know that those are easy to remove, but when I realized how nice this is to remove, I just fell in love with it because you put some warm water in your eyelashes and you just kind of pull off the little tubes, and this is so nice. It's a very heavy, nice packaging. I wouldn't try to build it up because it can look really clumpy. That's what I didn't like. But now that I've learned how to apply it and I know how easy it is to remove, I've definitely grown to love it and I really enjoy this mascara. And we're ending on my last product, which is an old love that I used to really enjoy. I've since decluttered it. It's the Milani Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer. I used to love this. It was like my favorite drugstore concealer. As you can see, I've used over half of it. Oh, it smells like permanent marker, paint, ink, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. And it really applies like paint too. Like, it's not super blendable. It's too full coverage. The smell is the main thing. I don't know if it just got like that over time. I remember it smelling though at first, and I don't know if I was looking past it because I love Milani products. I wanted a drugstore concealer to work for me, but over time I just stopped using it. I never reached for it again. I ended up decluttering it. Yeah, I realized that I like more medium, hydrating, blendable concealers. This is too thick, too much like paint. It also smells too much like paint, and I can't do this one anymore. And that's it for products that I have changed my mind on for the better or the worse. Let me know down below in the comments what are the products that you have changed your mind on. I would love to know. And let me know in the future if you want me to keep doing videos like this. There's definitely products that come up all the time, so I definitely could in a few months probably do another one. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and we will see you in my next one. Bye!